1. What is the primary advantage of S-cam brakes over other types of foundation brakes? A. They are lighter in weight. They provide more consistent braking force and are widely used. C. They require less maintenance. D. They generate less heat. 2. What does the term foundation brakes refer to in an air brake system? A. The air compressor and governor. B. The brakes at each wheel, drum, disc, or wedge brakes. The air storage tanks. D. The brake pedal and valve system. 3. In a dual air brake system, what happens if one air system fails completely? A. All brakes stop working immediately. B. Only the parking brake will function. C. The other system should provide adequate braking, though stopping distance increases. D. The vehicle will be unable to stop under any circumstances. 4. What is the main purpose of the application pressure gauge in an air brake system? To show how much air is in the storage tanks. B. To display how much brake pressure is being applied. C. To indicate when the compressor is pumping. D. To measure the temperature of the brakes. 5. Why is brake lag an important consideration when driving a vehicle with air brakes? A. It takes time for air to flow through the lines and apply the brakes, requiring earlier braking. B. Brakes become less effective over time. C. Air pressure decreases during extended use. D. Hydraulic fluid needs time to warm up. 6. What should a driver do if the low air pressure warning device activates while driving? A. Continue driving but avoid sudden stops. B. Increase speed to build air pressure faster. C. Stop safely as soon as possible and investigate the problem. D. Apply the parking brake immediately while moving. 7. Which component prevents the air brake system from being overpressurized? A. Air compressor. B. Governor. C. Safety relief valve. D. Brake chamber. 8. What is the function of the brake chamber in an air brake system? A. To store compressed air. B. To convert air pressure into mechanical force to apply the brakes. C. To regulate air pressure throughout the system. D. To cool the air after compression. 9. When should you use the parking brake on a commercial vehicle? A. Only when parked on a hill. B. Only during pre-trip inspections. C. Whenever the vehicle is parked, regardless of location. D. Only when air pressure drops below normal levels. 10. What is stab braking? A. Applying steady, firm pressure to the brake pedal. B. Pumping the brakes lightly and rapidly. C. Pressing the brake pedal hard until wheels lock, then releasing and repeating. D. Using only the trailer brakes. 11. What is controlled braking? A. Pumping the brakes rapidly. B. Applying brakes as hard as possible without locking wheels. C. Using only engine compression for slowing. D. Applying brakes gradually over a long distance. 12. Why should air tanks be drained regularly in cold weather? A. To reduce air pressure. B. To prevent water from freezing and blocking air lines. C. To test the low-pressure warning device. D. To improve fuel efficiency. 13. What component connects the brake chamber pushrod to the brake camshaft? A. Governor. B. Slack adjuster. Safety valve. D. Brake drum. 14. What is the purpose of the slack adjuster in an air brake system? A. To store extra air for emergencies. B. To adjust the clearance between brake shoes and drums. C. To reduce air pressure to the brakes. D. To warn the driver of low air pressure. 15. How do spring brakes work in an emergency situation? A. Compressed air applies the brakes with extra force. B. Strong springs apply the brakes when air pressure is lost. C. Hydraulic fluid activates the brakes. D. The driver must manually engage them. 16. What type of brake chamber combines service and parking brake functions? A. Standard air chamber. B. Spring brake chamber. C. Wedge brake chamber. D. Hydraulic chamber. 17. What is brake fade and what causes it? A. Loss of braking power due to excessive heat from overuse. B. Gradual air pressure loss over time. C. Brake adjustment becoming loose. D. Contamination of brake linings with oil. 18. What is the proper way to descend a long, steep grade with air brakes? A. Coast in neutral and brake only when necessary. B. Select a low gear before the descent and use controlled braking. C. Use constant light brake pressure throughout. D. Rely solely on engine braking without using service brakes. 19. What are glad hands used for on a tractor-trailer combination? A. Emergency brake release mechanisms. B. Coupling devices for connecting air lines between tractor and trailer. C. Manual air pressure pumps. D. Brake adjustment tools. 20. What color coding is typically used for glad hands and air brake systems? A. Service line is red, emergency line is blue. B. Service line is blue, emergency line is red. C. Both lines are yellow. D. Service line is green, emergency line is black. 21. Before backing under a trailer during coupling, what should you do with the brakes? A. Release all brakes completely. B. Apply the tractor parking brake and trailer emergency brakes. C. Apply only the service brakes. D. Disconnect all airlines first. 22. What happens when you push in the trailer air supply valve, tractor protection valve? A. Air flows to the trailer brakes. B. The trailer brakes are released. C. The trailer emergency brakes are applied. D. Air is blocked from the trailer and trailer emergency brakes apply. 23. What is the tractor protection valve designed to do? A. Increase air pressure to the trailer. B. Prevent trailer air loss from draining the tractor air supply. C. Control the parking brake. D. Adjust brake timing. 24. When should you check the trailer air supply to ensure it's functioning properly? A. Only during annual inspections. B. After every trip. C. During the pre-trip inspection. Once per month. 25. What component uses engine power to compress air for the brake system? A. Air governor. B. Air compressor. Air dryer. Air chamber. 26. What is the purpose of an air dryer in modern air brake systems? A. To cool hot air from the compressor. B. To remove moisture from compressed air before it enters the system. C. To increase air pressure. D. To filter engine exhaust. 27. What should you do if you notice oil on brake linings during inspection? A. Continue driving but monitor brakes closely. B. Do not operate the vehicle until the problem is fixed. C. Clean the linings and continue. D. Reduce speed and drive carefully to the shop. 28. What indicates properly adjusted brakes during a pre-trip inspection? A. Brake chambers move at least 2 inches when applied. B. Pushrod travel is within manufacturer specifications. C. Slack adjusters move freely without resistance. D. Brake drums are hot to the touch. 29. Why is the pushrod travel measurement important during brake inspection? A. It indicates air pressure levels. B. Excessive travel means brakes are out of adjustment and less effective. C. It measures brake pad thickness. D. It determines air compressor function. 30. What is the maximum allowed pushrod travel for most brake chambers? A. Up to 1 inch for all brake types. B. Varies by chamber type and size, typically 1 to 2 inches. C. Up to 4 inches for standard chambers. D. There's no maximum limit. 31. When performing a brake adjustment test, what should you check? A. Air pressure only. B. That automatic slack adjusters are functioning or manual adjusters are properly set. C. Brake drum temperature. D. Tire pressure. 32. What is the purpose of the stoplight switch in an air brake system? A. To cut power to the compressor. B. To activate brake lights when brakes are applied. C. To warn of low air pressure. D. To control the parking brake. 33. How often should brake components be inspected for wear or damage? A. Every 10,000 miles. Annually. C. During every pre-trip inspection. D. Only when problems are suspected. 34. What does ABS, anti-lock braking system, do on commercial vehicles? A. Increases air pressure during braking. B. Automatically applies brakes in emergencies. C. Prevents wheel lockup to maintain steering control. D. Reduces the need for regular brake maintenance. 35. If your vehicle has ABS and the ABS malfunction lamp illuminates, what should you do? A. Stop immediately and do not drive. B. Continue driving normally. The regular brakes still function, but get ABS repaired soon. C. Pump the brakes to reset the system. D. Increase following distance and avoid all braking. 36. What is the function of the alcohol evaporator in cold weather conditions? A. To increase air pressure in the system. B. To inject alcohol into the air system to prevent ice formation in valves and lines. C. To cool the compressed air before it enters the tanks. D. To filter impurities from the air. 37. What should you do if your vehicle is equipped with a manual front brake limiting valve? A. Always keep it in the slippery position for maximum safety. B. Keep it in the normal position for full braking power under all conditions. C. Switch it to slippery only when descending hills. D. Use it only during the pre-trip inspection. 38. When coupling a tractor to a trailer, at what point should you connect the air lines? A. Before backing under the trailer. B. After the fifth wheel is locked and before releasing the trailer brakes. C. After releasing all brakes and checking the connection. D. Only after completing the entire coupling process.